Smell us now, lady.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. We're coming to you from MeatEater HQ in Bozeman, Montana. But we're not live today.
What?
Yeah. No, this is for June 18th. 19th?
19th.
This is June 19th. If you're listening to me now, it's federal holiday, Juneteenth, and we are recognizing that here by not being here. So this is a pre-recorded episode. And on today's episode, we've got a great one for you. We're here to answer your questions from how to handle conversations with poachers. Are we? Mm-hmm. To unique ways to prepare bear meat. This entire show is Q&A. And it is June 19th today, so we are in the thick of things, summer speaking. Boys have any fun summer plans?
Ooh, man.
I stumbled through that intro. I don't think this is off to a good start.
I think you did great. I don't know who wrote this script, but you crushed that.
Yeah.
Pound some more of that beer. Lube it up, Randall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Pepsi.
Lubricate the wheels. What are you doing, Corey?
Man,
Camping?
been doing some camping. It's been a hot summer already. I feel like winter kind of...
Really?
Yeah, it feels like all of a sudden it's just been hot. Like, it feels like it's July out. And it's not. It's June 19th.
Yes.
But it's actually...
It is June 19th.
June 9th that we're recording this. And it's just hotter than it needs to be already.
I'll take it.
Was up near our state capital over the weekend, and it was really smoky. I think it's fires coming down from Canada, but it's just coming on a little too early. I feel like spring held on pretty well, but then we need some snow still.
The smoke rolled in.
And
dramatically.
Waters in western Montana are drying up. The rivers are drying up. Reservoirs are not going to fill up this year. It's not looking good.
So you're telling me you're not going to fish much this summer?
I'm going to fish now, and come summer, I'm going to be shooting rocks from a slingshot at carp or something else, not catching trout, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, maybe going to the reservoirs and practicing your spear fishing on some carp in the water.
Some bow fishing, maybe.
That'd be cooler.
But, yeah, get your Montana trout fishing now because it feels like it's going to be a hoot owl coming sooner than later.
What does hoot owl mean, Corey?
Well, that's just the term that they've coined when rivers get a little too warm. If it's above 72 degrees for a few days in a row, they'll shut the fishing down, mostly in the afternoons. Usually it's around 2 p.m. or whenever the water gets hot, but really you just need to have a thermometer in the water and use your head. If it gets, honestly, towards 70, you should put your fly fishing gear or any of your fishing gear down and go do something else. Get up a little earlier and fish early in the mornings, but we will see that here sooner than later, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. So you should need to fish on owl hours.
Right.
I don't understand. They're only protecting a bunch of non-natives. I can understand if they're killing a bunch of cutthroats, but it's just a bunch of rainbows and browns in there.
Yeah, at what point in evolution is something native and non-native still? Like if a rainbow is born in a river, obviously it's not from that area, but at what point, does it take thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years? At what point is an animal native to the landscape?
You can ask that same question about humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were just up in Manitoba, on that bear hunt, and different parts of that country, Canada, not Manitoba, the province, but, they, depending on which province you're in, they really respect, they call them the First Nations, right? Which we don't really use that term down here. And I started thinking a lot about that. I'm like, well, they were first, but who was before them?
And no one.
Maybe no one.
Do we know? All the evidence maybe is buried under the sand.
Does their history go back that far where they're like, oh no, my ancestors came across the land bridge, or my ancestors came down the coast and then migrated?
I mean, I think so. There's really no other way you could have ended up indigenous without having some lineage that goes back to that, right?
Yeah, well, I just don't think we know all the details yet. Do you? You do way more reading about this than I do.
I mean, we're getting into some pretty heady territory here, guys.
Oh, we are. This is not where you want to go with this?
No.
We're supposed to just be talking about what we're doing this summer.
What's the meaning of life?
Janis, I heard you're running a race this summer.
Speaking of being hot this summer, I
yeah.
ran a race a couple days ago, last week, if you're listening to this on June 19th, in Pocatello, Idaho, called the Scout Mountain Ultra. Ran the 50-mile distance, which actually in Scout Mountain is 55. For the first time ever, I used a handkerchief or a bandana that was sewn shut, and it it had like a sleeve on the long edge, and the ends were open, like where you would tie it. It went around your neck, and you stuff ice in there, and then you tie it around your neck. Game changer. And so
you did do this past weekend. It's not coming up next weekend.
No.
Okay.
I already.
The level of detail convinced me.
Yes. Game changer. And obviously, it started with just a regular old bandana. Somebody decided to put some ice in a bandana, and they've evolved. But I bet I would have run at least 30 minutes, maybe 60 minutes longer, and been way more affected by the heat had I not had this ice bandana.
You were able to find some ice to fill it up throughout the race?
So, yeah, most of these ultras, I would say all of them, honestly, have aid stations. And they're the longest distance that we went between aid stations was just over 10 miles. But most of the time they try to set them at like 5 to 7. 5 sometimes can seem short because you're barely getting through what you've replenished before you need more. 10 felt a little bit long, especially Saturday because I had drained all my liquids and everything. But anyways, they know it's going to be hot. They had ice at every single aid station. Lots of different like energy and caloric drinks. Like the, Gatorade type stuff, Tailwind, goo type stuff. But then also they'll just have little cups of Coke. And
Did they have some Coke
ginger
for you?
ale? Oh yeah. But I don't understand why. I would rather drink flat Coke because then I don't have the carbonation bouncing around in my belly.
Sure.
But nobody at this race they were like, oh, we thought you'd like carbonation because it settles your stomach. You know how like when you're a kid and it's upset, your mom gives you a little 7-Up?
Oh, yeah.
Ginger ale.
Yeah.
Saltine crackers.
Yeah. But
Sounds pretty good.
yeah, so I ran the 55 in preparation for the Crazy Mountain 100, which is at the end of July.
That'll be hot.
It could be. Could be cold too.
It's true.
Weather in the crazies at the end of July.
Never know.
Don't know.
Yeah,
Don't
July
know.
4th last year we were up there and getting snowed on.
You were up there?
Oh,
See?
did a little hike.
I mean,
Chilly.
odds are it'll be warm.
Yeah.
On the warmer side of things than colder, but you never know. I'll be prepared for that. If it's colder, it'll be much easier running. What else I want to tell you about my recent race?
I see here 2 emergency poops. Is that correct?
Yes. But it was a bad way to start the race. Within the first 10 miles, I had 2 of those, but between those 2 emergency poops, I had 3 falls. And at 47 years of age, my falls are not getting any easier. I used to kind of like skid, roll, flip, and just like be right back on my feet and trudging along, going like, oh, what was that? And kind of take a couple deep breaths, make sure the ribs and lungs are okay. Now I like skid and pretty much come to a halt on the ground and then lift my face off the dirt. And I'm like, oh. And then I, slowly, like a big buck getting up out of his bed, get up and stretch and, then check and make sure everything's still working and then proceed down the trail.
Damn.
I don't know if I was wearing some new shoes that I didn't have too many miles in yet. The trail was like mountain bike single track, so it had a little bit of that like V to it.
It's got a belly.
Yeah, and it had like that groove. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't know if that was getting to me because I talked to some other folks that actually fell in that same section too. But yeah, I've made it most of my life not needing to poop while I'm running, and those days are behind me.
Are all poops while you're running emergency poops? What? What crosses that threshold?
I think if I would have been able to, I knew I had an aid station coming up, and I'm kind of watching on my watch. I know what mileage it's at. I know how many miles I have to go. And if I could just make it to the aid station, and even if I was, sprinting in there to go have a bowel movement, I would say, oh, it wasn't really an emergency. I had to poop. Yeah. But these are like, oh no, you're getting off the trail now, and you're gonna poop. Talking to more ultra marathon runners, they're like, oh, if you don't have some of those along with losing some toenails, fighting some nausea, you didn't really experience an ultra marathon.
Well, I would guess like 100 miles. How long is that going to take you?
The goal is to do it under 30 miles.
30 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, that's a few poops.
Yo, for sure. Well, depending, because I think of...
Yeah, if you're traveling, sometimes you can go 2 days.
I have that curse where when I start a new hunt, I don't poop for 3 or 4 days. It's bad.
Phil, what about you? Start a new video game? Are you things moving correctly, or...
Yeah, I mean, I keep a bucket behind the couch, so just in case.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a hell of a hobby.
Yeah.
Real picked a doozy.
Yeah, picked a doozy. But it's, we went to bed having this conversation, like, why are we doing this? Like, in our group, someone said, yeah, my literally my bunghole is like worn raw and fucking on fire. Sorry for the F-bomb. And that's no fun. Like, we're talking about between the three of us how many toenails we're going to lose. Everybody's hobbling around. Looks like you can barely walk. And like, why have we chosen this? Because I used to run just to be in shape for elk hunting. Yeah. Right? Just to be able to chase the bull up the mountain. And now it's become a little bit more of a love for the run itself. And so we went to bed with questions. And I woke up and I said, it's because... it makes you feel alive. I think there's no simpler answer than that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have any other questions? I can tell you about my toenails. I can tell you about how...
Did you lose some? I almost lost a toenail during hunting season. I put a toe warmer in my boot, and then it flipped around and got on top of my toe, but I didn't want to take it out.
Time out. It was under your feet?
Yeah.
What? They go on top of your foot.
No, they don't.
No, bud. Yeah. Top of your toes. Try it. You're walking around with a rolled up.
Listen, I know that what you're saying works, but the directions
I've never read the directions.
Are the opposite. They
Pretty
like go...
Heat rises, baby.
Yeah, but you certainly feel the heat touching you. Wow, this is new.
I got this bad boy wrapped up around my big toe. And
ouch.
That toenail is still... It filled up with blood.
Let's ask the live chat. Do you guys go toe warmers on top or underneath your toes?
Let's ask Cal.
We'll wait for you guys to get back.
Phil, what do we have? Oh, never mind.
Wait, yeah, it's a 50-50 split. Crazy. That settled nothing. I'm sorry, Janis.
It's 11:15 on a Monday.
So it got in there. You still just hiked your tail off, and that little toenail pounded against that toe warmer, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. By the end of the day, I was limping pretty good, but I just never wanted to take my boot off. It was real cold.
Then did you lost it completely?
No. It just sort of died, and I've kind of trimmed it back to the quick.
Never lifted off?
Never lifted off, but it was no longer attached. It was just kind of floating. So, yeah, it's been a weird one. It's still pretty ugly.
At this point...
So I'm wearing socks with Crocs today.
Hey.
So you can't get a peek.
Fashion statement.
You know what? My kids say these days you're a dork if you go the opposite, which is what I do. I don't like wearing socks with my Crocs, but the kids are like, no, that's the only way to wear Crocs, Dad. So you're in. You're good.
I love it.
Do you think by looking at my toes, you could tell me if I'm going to lose the toenail or not?
Ooh, break them out.
No, I'd have to get in there and wiggle them like a tooth.
Well, they're not loose yet by any means. There's just a coloration to them that's different from my other toenails. And I think I still might be able to keep them. But everybody looks at them and is like, no, they're gone. You're done.
Is this your big toe?
Yeah, both my big toes. Then 2 of the little ones on the right foot. They're both looking a little purpley.
You don't need those.
What I'm hoping is that if I'm going to lose them, I'm going to lose them before I have to run 100 miles. Because if I just
Yeah.
don't have toenails there, life will be easy peasy. But if I have like loose, messed up, partially attached, painful toenails, it could suck.
Put a little dental floss on them and tie it to a doorknob.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys about the fellow that I lion hunted with one day? He's a buddy of Pete's, actually.
Do you have his toenails removed?
Ed, yeah, has his
Oh, yeah.
toenails removed for the sole purpose of sheep hunting.
Really?
Yeah.
Had them removed.
Completely.
Interesting.
Yeah. He said he thought he was a tough guy, and the doctor's like, yeah, we can like maybe do like 2, because he was just going to go in and be like, take 10, please. Let's get this done. And the doc's like, nah, we'll do 2, and we'll see how it goes. And afterwards, he's like, oh, thank God. Because, yeah, I guess when you get your toenails removed, it's not fun.
But then he went back there 5 more times.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
toenails.
Ed's hardcore.
Yeah, no, he's into it.
Love Ed.
All right. Well, let's move on from my running. I'll let you boys know how it goes when I'm done with 100.
Randall, what do you got going on this summer?
Are we doing the... Yeah, I guess, well, it's now June 19th. Coming up shortly here, I'm heading across the pond for a little tour of beer and bratwursts
Ooh,
Lovely.
Very jealous.
nice.
in
In
southern
Deutschland?
Deutschland und Österreich.
Ah.
That's Austria. And I'm just going to drink a lot of beer and eat a lot of pretzels and do a lot of sampling of local tube meats.
That sounds
A little bit of
lovely.
walking.
Hey,
It's
if
a 10th anniversary trip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good call.
Latvia's not far away. You could probably get $100 flight. Then call me when you're over there.
Are you going to be there?
I won't be.
But, just call him.
If
No, call me back here and say, hey, I made it. Latvia's cool.
if you were going to be there, I'd extend my trip and make it up there. So we could look for some dog raccoons or whatever they are.
Oh, I could make that happen, buddy. I could make a little raccoon dog trip happen for you. Well, that's awesome. That sounds like a great trip.
And then we're coming back and sort of immediately recording the next MeatEater American History audiobook, which is no small source of anxiety. It's going to be great, but there's a lot of work to do. And then in August, it just depends on how smoky everything is. I'm going to an event in Ekalaka, the Dino Shindig
Oh, that looks
at
fun.
the Carter County Museum. We're going to go out and dig some dinosaur bones, listen to some dinosaur research. So, yeah, pretty big summer ahead of me, guys. Pretty big summer.
Yeah.
Is Spencer Newharth going with you to the Dino Shindig?
No, he's not. Tickets are limited. So, and to go out on the field expedition is a couple $100. So, I didn't buy Spencer a ticket. Long story short, but yeah, I'm excited.
But you think he'd love that?
Yeah, I think he wants to go, but he's more of just a solid rock guy. I think
When is this? It's like July.
it's late July. Yeah,
Ekalaka gets hot.
yeah. No, I think it's going to be very hot.
That'll be fun, though. Phil, what about you?
Oh, thanks for asking, Corey. I don't have a whole lot going on. Going to the Black Hills with the family. It's our short little family vacay this year.
There you go.
That's pretty much all we've got planned.
Go see Mount Rushmore.
We are. The kids are excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're stoked. So yeah, it'll be a fun time.
How did you get them fired up on Mount Rushmore?
They just like the idea of Mount Rushmore. I'm sure they'll be completely deflated once we actually get there and they see how far away it is, and how far we had to drive to get there. But for the time being, they're stoked, and I'm just going to hold on to that as long as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about swinging by Devil's Tower, which is kind of out of the way, but
I
not
have been
too
thinking
far.
about it.
It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Camp
It
right underneath it.
looks
And
great.
then there's Teddy Roosevelt National Park too, maybe.
In North Dakota.
That's in North.
Yeah, there's the Badlands.
Yeah, I don't
Badlands
far.
National Park isn't
Oh,
too
right.
far,
Yeah,
and
take the
and
northern
just the
route.
Black Hills State Park is worth a drive. They have
Yeah.
a wild ass highway that goes round and around, and
Get
it
to-
kind of frames. You go through these tunnels built into the rock that frames Mount Rushmore quite nicely. Yeah,
Wow.
it's very
Sounds
thoughtfully
great.
done.
Yeah, we're actually going to be staying in the Badlands. So
Nice.
Lovely.
Deadwood is
Good
worth
trip.
a stop too.
oh, you don't have to tell me. I've already got
Play
plans.
some poker.
Phil, what's the chat saying?
Oh,
Oh, it's crazy. Even though we're pre-recording this episode, Mogor is here. I don't know how he found out we were doing this, but
Hell yeah.
Shout out
he
Mogor.
says greetings. Thanks for the show. You guys are awesome. Mogor, thanks for being here. It's always good to hear
June
from
19th in Hungary. Should we move on to some questions?
Well, gosh,
Let's
how
do
we
it.
doing?
Well,
Yeah.
that or comments. I don't know which one you want to do first. Or we can split. We can do a little bit of one and then bounce back and forth.
We can bounce back and forth a little bit
bounce
here. Let's begin with this question from Michael M. Michael M writes, I've recently been gifted 2 shotguns by my father-in-law who is handicapped and can no longer hunt. Inspired by this gesture and eager to connect with nature, I am determined to embark on my hunting journey. However, as a newcomer, I find the most daunting challenge is locating accessible land to hunt on. I would greatly appreciate any advice or resources you could share on how to find hunting land in general. Additionally, if there are any local programs, public lands, or community initiatives that facilitate land access for new hunters, I would be eager to learn more.
Great question.
Who wants to start here? Janis?
Well, it's almost as if this question was sent in under a pseudonym.
No, this is a genuine email.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm asking if pseudonym is the right term I'm using, like a fake name.
No,
Yeah.
that's the real deal.
But that is the real name.
Yes, I know, but I'm
Nom de
asking you
guerre.
if my vocabulary is correct.
Yeah, pseudonym is a.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As if someone from Onyx
Oh, I see. I see.
under a pseudonym of Michael M.
I thought you were accusing Cory of making up this question.
Oh, like some of the other ones.
no.
No.
Get out of here.
But Michael, it's very easy. Get yourself a smartphone, download yourself some Onyx, find yourself on that map, and then turn on the layer of public lands, and it will literally light up on your map of all the available public lands. And then usually you can click on said lands and find out more information about it, and maybe even what you can't hunt there. And then there's usually links to hunting regulations and so on and so forth. That would be my one piece of advice. I don't know about any initiatives that facilitate land access for new hunters, but I would say that you could go to Sharing the Land that our buddy Doug Duran runs and see if they might have some stuff going on, which is basically a cooperative where they find willing landowners that want to give some access. They set them up with people like you that are looking to hunt and willing to do a little bit of work to get access to that land, and it's a great program. So there's stuff like that out there. If that still doesn't work, send some letters and go door knocking.
I would
Yeah.
add to that, get involved in like your local BHA chapter.
That's what I was thinking.
Make some friends who are in the same boat, and then also reach out to your local or your state fish and game office, because most of those agencies have access programs, whether it's like, the public lands that they manage directly or private lands that they help administer public access to. And oftentimes they have like staffers who are specifically working on access issues. So it's their job, and that's what they want to do, is connect people with places to hunt. So don't be afraid to reach out to Fish and Game and see what they have going on.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was also thinking, if you have a local sporting goods store, go check out the bulletin board down there and see if there's any group get-togethers or some sort of event that you can.
Yeah, fundraisers, things like that.
Yep. Try mingling. Any local banquets.
Yeah.
Ducks Unlimited.
I know at least in some states there are organizations where you can go do boots on the ground conservation work, like outside of BHA. There's like organizations that are doing local projects. If you have like a local sportsman's group that's helping pull fence or whatever else, go get involved in that stuff. And people are more likely to extend an invite to you if they see that you're invested in it and out there in the world doing good work.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance that the work you'll be doing will be on land that you can go hunt.
Yeah.
All right. I wish we knew what state Michael M was in, but oh well. Let's go on to, how do you pronounce this next one, Randall?
Jabron T. I think this is a pseudonym from Cory.
Jabron.
Jabron writes, I'll be hunting archery elk in Idaho for the first time this fall. What should I be doing to prepare as an elk caller in the off-season? And to answer this question, here's Mr. Jason Phelps.
What?
One of the most asked questions we get this time of the year is, what should I be doing as a caller in the off-season to improve my chances for success come September? My short answer is always, you just need to have the confidence to be able to call in September. One of those biggest hurdles is you're out there, you're interacting with the elk, you're on the elk, and you're just afraid to call. There are a lot of situations where maybe calling is not the best answer, the best solution to find success, but there are a lot of situations where calling will bring that bull into archery range and be the thing that does matter. So how do you build that confidence? It's practicing right now in the off season. Now, I'm not going to get into like making perfect cow calls, how you make those. That's difficult. We got YouTube videos for that. Go search those up. But I relate this a lot to playing basketball. The game is where you get to show off how good you are. Practice is what makes you and builds how good you are. It's the same thing with archery elk hunting and calling. We don't get enough reps out in the field during September to become good. You need to do that in the off season. You need to have enough practice that you're confident when you go to blow a call. You know exactly how that call is going to react. You know exactly how to repeat the call that you want. You know how to make this sound, a cow mew, an estrus whine, a challenge bugle, lip ball, whatever it may be. You've did enough practice that your muscle memory, you can go out and make that call. So how do you do that? Like ideally, we recommend off season, everybody goes back to a diaphragm and tube combo. Try to get that diaphragm to work if possible. It allows you to be hands-free as an archer, as a muzzleloader hunter, so that you have control over your weapon while you're making calls. If that doesn't work, you got gag reflex, or for some reason you just can't get the hang of it, we have designed some calls like the Easy Estrus, Easy One, Easy Sucker on the cow call side to kind of cut that learning curve down. We've also designed the Easy Bugler on the bugle tube side, which attaches to a lot of our new bugle tubes to just make that process easier and hopefully build your confidence. But whatever it is this off season, find something that builds confidence for you so that when it comes time to the big show in September, you're willing to make a call when needed to help your chances to bring that bull into range.
Well said. Oh, gets me excited. Let's go.
It's like that guy thinks about calling a lot or something.
I was going to say, I don't really have much to add to that.
Yeah.
Before we move on to our next question.
I was going to add, can I add something?
Yeah, please.
Why is that funny?
No, we're just out of sync today. It's being Monday.
You think that's what it is?
I think that's
the pressure of being live. It provides a little bit more energy. And I think the fact that it's 3:30 on a Monday.
Yeah,
Could be.
But we gotta remember, boys. We've got an audience. They might not be watching now, but they're out there.
I know. Please add.
I might be just a little bit low T because I'm drained from Saturday. So. Sorry, audience.
But do you have stuff to add to the calling thing?
Yes, I do.
The best podcast apologize for themselves halfway through.
Yeah.
What I like to do. Don't look at me with those deer lost in the headlights look.
No, I just was looking at my face on the screen, and my face is really red.
Looks good.
Beet red. Look at my hand.
Cincinnati
it's
red.
Awful. Go ahead, please.
Jason's talking about calling a lot, and I fall in this trap too. Is like I don't put enough reps in, and I try to get plenty of summertime reps in with my calls. But I like to always practice. It's easy to have that call in your mouth for 10 minutes and have already tried to have blown 50 cow calls and to then produce a good one. It's a much harder when your mouth is dry and you just put one in and you got to make one soft mew. So I always try to practice that. It's kind of like doing a cold barrel first shot, right? Like that's the one you're killing the animal
Cold bore
with.
challenge.
The cold bore challenge, right? Same thing here. Dry diaphragm challenge. Chuck it in there. Do whatever you got to do with your saliva to get it ready, moist, get it in the right spot, and see if you can just make that one perfect cow mew. That'll give you that confidence he was talking about.
Yeah, how about when you're physically prepping for elk hunting? When you're climbing a mountain with a ruck pack on or whatever.
You want to get into this next question here, huh?
Oh, well, no, not necessarily. Here's another one
he does.
for you, though. Another idea is while you're shooting your bow, have a diaphragm in your mouth. Yanni, how many times have you tried stopping an elk at full draw with some sort of noise? Cow call works really well.
I haven't.
But it is one.
I would probably just give him the old Matt.
Look up here. Yeah, but it's nice to have a diaphragm in your mouth while you're shooting. So try it. It's good practice. Just try it all.
Well, speaking of preparation, and then after this, maybe we could hit a comment or two.
Please.
Speaking of preparation, our next question comes to us from Adam B. I won a Dall sheep hunt at a local wild sheep fundraiser. Congrats. We're all happy for you. I've been doing a fair bit of hiking with a weighted pack, but where I live is flatter than a pancake. Do you have any pointers for me to help get in sheep shape before my August hunt?
Sheep shape.
This guy must live in Manitoba, where I just was. It's flat there, buddy.
Or Kansas.
To answer this question, here's Rich Froning.
Question is, I won a Dall sheep hunt at a local wild sheep fundraiser. I've been doing a fair bit of hiking with a weighted pack, but where I live is flatter than a pancake. Do you have
Phil, can
any
we cut that?
pointers for me to help get in sheep shape before my August hunt?
Sheep shape.
Yes, several things. Use that ruck. You can step up to a cooler if you have a box, if you have a stadium nearby where you can get on some stairs. You can throw in some squats. You can throw in some lunges. You can do some type of intervals where maybe you run ruck, pop down, do some burpees with the thing. But the more you can move that weight in different ranges of motion, we like the squat, we like a lunge. Once again, stepping forward on a cooler, doing lateral step overs on a cooler. There's all kinds of different movements you can do, but you're going to need to build up that leg strength, and good luck in August.
Nice. Wow.
Anything to add to that? Go out and run 100 miles?
That'll do it.
Yeah.
But if it's a flat 100, you're still going to be hurting.
Yeah. There's really nothing that compares to just stepping up on things.
Right. That's right.
Man, being that you won this hunt once in a lifetime type thing, most likely, maybe plan on making a trip out to Colorado and go for a hike or two. Just maybe a couple weeks before your hunt, if you have time.
That's right. If he's not paying for anything, he should fly out to some high country and do some mega hiking. That's a great idea.
Definitely try and get up to the elevation and put a pack on. I mean, you can step on a cooler all day long, but nothing gets you trained in the mountains more than just being in the mountains. So.
Yeah. Make sure you got some sheep feet trained up too.
Ooh.
And it's nice because he knows when he's going sheep hunting. So he knows when he can stop working out.
Mm-hmm.
See, the rest of us are all sort of like floating around here waiting for the sheep hunt. But he has a finish line in sight of when he can just go back to being a total slob.
After the hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Just let her all hang out.
Yeah, just suffer for a couple of months. You won't regret it.
Good question.
Giannis, do you have any comments here? This is our stand-in for comments from the chat. It's a new thing we're doing on Not Live MeatEater Radio Live.
We recently have done it's not a new series. We've added some episodes to this series, MeatEater Experiences. We did What It Takes to Lose Zero. We did one called The Brush Gun. Have we released anything else yet, Cory?
277 Fury.
Oh, right, the
blew up some
277 Fury, where Randall basically told us about the 277 Fury, and then we took that cartridge and shot a bunch of different mediums in super slow motion, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't do it wrong, according to a lot of these comments here on YouTube. Eric8851 says, you all missed the point of a brush gun. It's to carry, walk, and hunt in the brush, not, I think he missed the word shoot, through brush. Short, light, easy to get on target. No glass. 30-30, 45-70, 44 mag, 357. See a theme here? Southeast hunter here. Wood so thick 30 yards is a long shot at time. Guns at bow range, hunting clear-cut timber lots.
So you did get it wrong.
Great point.
Yeah, which I think that we spoke to that in our brush gun video.
Yeah, there are multiple definitions of the term.
And that not only is it meant to be able to be the gun easily manipulated in brush country, but that the bullet has to perform well in the brush. I'm not going to tell you the outcome of our brush gun video. Go watch it.
I've got one here that's sort of along similar lines. It reads, "Shut up, Randall. Randall is getting a little more annoying every episode." Here's another one. "Dr. Randall is insufferable. I mute it when he opens his mouth. Good thing the questions were posted at the bottom of the screen. It's obvious he's trying to win the who can be most in love with himself contest that nobody asked for." Oh. And then one more here. Let's find a good one here.
Let's get a positive one, eh?
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't have to be positive as long as it's insightful.
Yeah. Randall, what an idiot.
That fits.
Randall, classic me generation, not getting what they deserve. Here's another. What an idiot, Dr. Randall. Should we go back to questions?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they don't like you. Is it because you are the smartest guy in the room and they just gotta try to take down the guy
No,
at
it's
the
because
top?
I'm conceited. It's because I'm conceited.
They hate
They
you
see right through me.
because they ain't you.
They know what I'm thinking and what I think of myself.
Well, don't read those comments.
We got another question here. This one comes... Phil, I got you with that transition. Got another question here. This is from a MeatEater Trivia All-Star question submitter, Leland Hart.
Hey.
He says, I lead a local conservation group. I'm always talking up hunting and angling to people I meet. For some reason, this appears to make me a magnet for people telling me about how they've broken game laws. It's happened at least 3 times. Poachers apparently see my BHA and MeatEater merch and think I'm going to tell this guy about unlicensed night hunting in a day hunting only state for game out of season. Or let me tell you how I pulled a fast one by hunting against regulations and got away with it. How would the MeatEater team deal with confessions of wrongdoing told to you in earnest? And to answer this question, here's Chester Floyd.
Oh,
Yes.
Buddy, Chester Floyd here, coming at you from Wisconsin.
It's a bad
and I've
camera
got
angle.
another Cheddar for you. This week's Cheddar comes to us from Leland Hart. Leland writes in,
What the hell is
from
going
Fort
on with this?
Huachuca, MeatEater
Who's the
team.
producer here?
I have a Cheddar question.
Oh, no.
Can
I'm
we
a
skip?
proud hunter, angler, and outdoorsman.
How about while he's reading
I
this
lead a
question, we'll just talk
local
about how giant his
conservation
guitar
group,
looks.
BHA.
Yeah.
Look how blue
Awesome.
the sky is.
And I'm always
yes.
talking up hunting and angling with the people I meet. For some reason, this
Sorry,
appears
I
to
didn't think
make
about
me
this part.
Oh, that's
a
fine.
magnet for people to tell me about how they've
And-
broken game
And now they're
laws.
going to
Helps the
know.
listener remember.
Now they're going to know that I
At
read an
least 3
abbreviated
times.
version of the question.
Poachers apparently
For
see
better
my
flow,
BHA
so it
and
didn't
MeatEater
turn
Guys, everything's
merch
going
and
fine.
things.
So
I don't
this
know
wasn't
why.
I'm
a
going to tell
clunky
this guy
Q&A.
about unlicensed night
there's a
hunting
dog.
in a day hunting only state for game that's out of season and I don't have a tag for anyways.
God, I miss
Or,
Chester.
in quotes, let me tell you how I pulled a
not
fast one by hunting against
But it feels
regulations
like
on a
he is.
military
To me, he is.
base
I know.
and got away with a
miss him, too.
trespassing
No, I'm
citation
kind of glad he's gone because his songs are
instead
so
of
much
any
better
real
than mine.
consequences. Ha ha.
And so I get to be the standout.
I tried to
musician.
make
Oh,
this
here
an
we go.
educational moment when it happens. At least one of the people was just ignorant of the law. The others seemed oddly proud of their misbehavior. I didn't hear anything actionable by law enforcement, just historical. I did this a while ago stuff. Obviously, if I anticipated a crime, I would report it, but it is a weird spot to be in. How would the MeatEater team deal with confessions of wrongdoing told to you in earnest? Down in Fort Huachuca's redneck crowd full all kinds of people, good and sound, except a couple of boys who were up to no good, causing all kinds of trouble in the hood. Leland, you're an approachable guy, that's why all the boys spare the poaching cries. Sitting here thinking on what you must do about bad confessions told to you. Like I pulled a fast one on the neighbor's place, and I pulled a fast one on the military base, and I pulled a fast one. I thought you should know when I pull a fast one. Call me no good Joe.
Excellent camera work.
Yeah. You can feel the emotion when he
Matter if
sings.
the story flies or he's telling white lies, you gotta put him in his place. You say all those acts, if bona fide facts, are gonna burn you down someday. Yeah, they're gonna burn you down someday. Oh yeah, they're gonna burn you down someday.
Does he have this memorized?
I think so.
This is insane.
I know.
Maybe it's written on the top of his guitar.
That's why it's so big.
Under his eyelids. No,
Down
it's
the
all.
Boardwalk redneck
skill.
crowd
Boardwalk
full of all kinds of people.
Should we
Good
erase
in sound, except
a question
a couple of folks
to shorten this up?
who were up
I
to
gotta
no
go somewhere
good,
at 4.
causing all
Hey, Cory,
kinds of
everyone can hear you
trouble
talking
in the
right now.
Are you serious?
Yes.
causing all kinds of trouble in the hood. I hope you liked that little song, and hopefully it gave you a little bit of ideas on what to do. But I think teaching people and making it an educational moment, really letting them know, like, what the heck, dude? Like, you cannot do that stuff, and that's going to come back to burn you. And why are you telling me this? But if somebody has done something like crazy bad, which these guys have, but like just insane, like, you've got to report it to the DNR. They're in a bar drinking and stuff in this circumstance, so I'm not quite sure, how truthful this is, but it's really use your best judgment, make it educational, let them know that they have done wrong.
Well said. Well done, man.
What do you guys think?
Hell of a
Anything
tune.
to add to old Chestero?
Can't top that, but he's right.
Janis?
No, yeah, I would not worry about keeping them as friends and just and get right in their face, let them know what's up.
Wrong is wrong.
Tough love.
Tough love, baby. You had some more funny comments for me?
I've got another one here. Randall looks nothing like he sounds. I would have guessed an old gray-haired man with glasses in his late 60s. There's another one. I figured based off Randall's voice, I figured he was 25 years older than he appears to be. That's whack. Everyone says, sorry, Randall, you're not a doctor, just a nerd with a degree.
Ooh, that stings a little, eh?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I let's do a little compliment sandwich here. Hey, Janis, I thoroughly enjoy when you host MeatEater Radio Live.
Oh, so the compliment's about you, not.
It reminds
Gotcha.
me of old MeatEater. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the way MeatEater is now, but when you host, it has a very hey man, we did this. It was awesome. You should try this. Feel to it. Anyway, keep being awesome. Does that make you feel any better?
No, because I think they're comparing it to, not that there's anything wrong with the new MeatEater where they talk about Bennigans, but I think that's the new MeatEater. I don't know. Maybe that's just more conceited talk on my part.
Don't be so conceited.
Cory, how many questions we got left on the list here?
Oh, gosh. What do we got? 1, 2, 3. Got a few more.
No, I was wondering how many you wanted me to read from.
Oh, well, I think we got a little bit of time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
How about this one? Should I read the question or just play the video?
How about we just play the video?
Let's play the video, Phil.
And with our luck, it's going to be the one video where they don't
Yeah.
read the question first, but let's find out.
Here's Tyler Jones.
The question is, how do I scout for bucks?
Nailed it.
And for shooting those bucks in the first 3 weeks of October, I have no major ag food sources. Instead, it's oak trees. There's two ways that I could look at this and do most of the time. And let's break it down into the first 2 weeks, which are going to be more patternable stages of a deer's life. And then that last week of the 3-week span in October, you're getting towards the middle of October and into the 20s, and deer get a little more pre-rut, a little more testosterone increase there. So we'll talk about those in that order. The first section, the patternable deer. These deer are not going to move super far. They're going to be near bedding, so thick areas, and then they're going to be feeding on oaks in close proximity, not moving a ton in the daylight usually. It makes them pretty tough. Trail cameras are a big part of finding these deer before this moment actually happens, right? So August, September, getting trail cameras out near thick bedding where there's oak trees. Another thing you can do is when you actually go in to hunt is listen carefully, because we're looking for the first oak trees to start dropping, which doesn't happen at the 1st of October sometimes, depending on the year. So we're looking to hopefully get those deer that are moving to the same sound that we're hearing in the woods, which is acorns dropping and getting under those first few trees. The second part of this is the rut, or pre-rut rather, but rut-like movement, where we get into a pinch point near a scrape, and that's a situation I like a lot. In fact, in 2020, I killed a deer on the 23rd of October, just outside that window, but he had showed up on a scrape for the first time on this trail camera on the 16th. So as we get cold weather in that 3rd week, we're looking to shoot deer near scrapes, in pinch points, banking on the fact that they're moving just a little bit more before dark. Hope this helps.
Thanks for that great answer,
Thank you, Tyler.
And I was distracted by all the awesome taxidermy behind him. Wonder if he's in his house or if he's at a
Yeah, it looks like a
taxidermist?
garage maybe. He's killed a lot of bucks, and those boys like to do taxidermy.
Yes, they do. I'm about to go pick up a little piece of taxidermy this weekend.
Tell us about it.
It's a shoulder mount of that bear I killed in Alaska 2 years ago.
Oh, nice. Another shoulder-mounted bear. Cool.
Yeah. Well, the other shoulder-mounted bear's in Jilly's office.
Yeah, that's more of a neck mount, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Is yours going to be... I actually have come to like those neck mounts. I saw some in Canada when I was up there, and I'm coming to like them because I like them because they're manageable and they're small.
Yeah.
I already have a big bear rug on the wall. Don't really have room for another one.
Well, you should take it down and put it on the floor.
This is a wall pedestal, so it incorporates more of the sternum and chest, so it'll be coming out of the wall, and it's sort of it looks more like a mount of deer, where you get some of that. Because some of the bear neck mounts, they just look like you stuck it on the wall.
Arms included?
No. Yeah. But I'm still excited. It had a big noggin, so what I really wanted to look at and remember was the size of its head. And I saw a photo of it, and it looks pretty spot on when I compare it to the photos from.
What'd that run you?
Do I want to talk numbers?
Does your wife listen to the show?
$1,200.
Oh.
It's
not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was reasonable.
Yeah.
But that's also why I don't do any other taxidermy.
It's expensive, man.
It is.
I always say I'd rather go on another hunt than get a buck mounted. All right, can we ask the beer drinking question now?
Yeah, sure. Travis T, and this actually is a real one. Says, why do I feel like everybody off camera is drinking beers, and why are they hiding it?
This was a question on a MeatEater Roasts episode. That was Phil cracking a beer. He's not hiding it. We don't hide it. Do you want to take this? You want me to take it?
Why don't you take it?
I'll start.
You feel inspired.
Nobody off camera is drinking beers. Anybody off camera is working, so they're not drinking beers. In the rare cases that we are drinking beers and there is some sort of video recording going on, it's usually towards the end of the day. Maybe your roast episode is
There's a glaring exception.
An anomaly. But for the most part, the cameras are put away. The day's wrapped up. We're not working anymore. We're relaxing. But something still funny happens or whatever, and we get a phone out, and it's recorded. Because I've gotten that a lot, too, where they're just like, man, you're so fired up and happy. You must be drinking beers. I'm not. Not drinking beers on camera.
Also, that can I just cracked was a sparkling juice drink.
Okay.
That's because I drank all the beers.
What do you say to that, Corey? You've been on some production sets now recently in the last year in your new role.
Yeah, I can't say I ever saw open container while we were working, but afterwards now, because got to work hard, you got to play hard. So
Yep.
I feel like we've cracked a couple cold ones afterwards, but yeah, never during.
Yep.
Nothing to add, Randall? Randall's not hiding it, as you guys can see.
And also, I'm not being
He's not.
holier than thou. At my previous job, the office was attached to a brewery,
Yeah.
and they had a deal with them that I got a free beer every day.
Whoa.
And on Thursdays, we got 3 free beers.
What?
Not every Thursday. The first Thursday of every month, we got 3 free beers.
Thirsty Thursday.
So, and
That's
I also
fantastic.
worked the graveyard shift, so I would start off my shift by drinking a double IPA and then go edit audio for 8 hours. And then on the first Thursdays, I mean, I don't know how I got work done, but I did. And
Yeah.
I was good at it.
I worked across the tracks from that same brewery, Phil.
Oh.
I didn't get any free beers,
I'm sorry. I missed that brewery I was thinking about.
but
today.
I did go there a lot.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Draftworks in Missoula. I'll
Oh,
just
buddy, I've
throw it
never
out there.
been to their brewery, but I
It's
sure
great.
do. I sure do like their beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
home away from home. Away from home.
Love it.
We got another question here that goes to Jordan Budd, and I don't know if she's repeated the question, so I'll just say, play the tape, Phil.
Got a question from Cameron Bokoff,
Nice.
and he just bought his
Nailed
first
it
whitetail
again.
tag and wants to know what are some must-haves for a first whitetail hunt. So what I would suggest more than anything tangible is shoot whatever weapon that you're going to use. Become super, super proficient with that. In the end, that's what it's going to come down to, and it's going to probably happen pretty quick. So being proficient and comfortable with whatever you're using is probably the most important. Beyond that, whitetail is a pretty stationary sport, so I would get some good clothes to be able to sit longer. So that's what I got for him.
Top-notch advice from a whitetail outfitter.
Let me add to that, a
Please.
safety harness.
That's a good one.
If in a tree.
Yeah.
Safety first. That's
Don't
for
go
sure.
climbing trees without safety harnesses, folks.
And these days, they have the lifelines as well.
Yeah.
It's basically a static rope that's attached above your tree stand and at the base, and so that way you're attached the whole time while you're climbing. Must have pieces of gear for his first whitetail hunt.
If you'd asked 19-year-old Randall, I would have told you 3 bottles of scent killer.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that too much either. Must have pieces of gear for his first whitetail hunt. Man, it's so varied. I have no idea where his hunt's going to be, how cold he's going to be, how hot he's going to be.
Depending on where he's hunting, I'd say a 50-pound bag of corn.
That,
Some old
maybe,
apples.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's fairly vague.
Sharp knife. You got to be able to gut and chop up your deer after he gets it. But what else to help him be successful? Binoculars? You don't really have to have binos in the whitetail woods.
No. Something to help keep you patient, assuming maybe in a tree. It's maybe a good book.
Yeah, a good book and some good snacks.
Or just one earbud to listen to MeatEater Radio live, not live.
Yeah, I don't support that.
All right.
I don't.
We get a lot of people in the chat saying that they're sitting in a tree stand or sitting against a tree waiting for turkeys, listening to radio. That seems irresponsible if you're trying to be an efficient hunter. But hey, thanks for listening.
Might get you in the mood, though.
Right.
You're already out there. If you're not in the mood, it might not be the right thing for you.
Might be sitting there.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Listen to Janis. If you're not happy to be out there, go home.
Yeah, go pick up golf.
Save it for the rest of us.
That's right. You got more, Randall?
I think that's it for questions. Phil, how are we doing on time here?
We're doing great on time. We can head for the final lap here.
But there's no chat room questions.
Mogor says we're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thanks, Mogor.
We really needed that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to look. What an idiot, Dr. Randall.
Hold on, I think we need to look at your MeatEater roasts episode.
Randall's the guy we all love to hate. I mute it when he opens his mouth.
Is that one real?
What's up with the wig?
That's not real.
Yeah, no. Someone actually did say these are all real. All right. Well, before we go, we have an important call to action. Starting next week, because today is June 19th. We're talking June 26th here.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry I had to interrupt, but since we're not doing this live, it's fine.
Thank you.
I am going to compliment Sandwich you to help with your conceitedness, to bring you up, because I want you to leave today.
Oh.
Up high, not down low. So, right here, Noah Rachow. This is from Randall and Spencer's roasts episode. You guys did a great job on. You cooked.
Well, I lost.
One of you did better than
you.
You
lost. Yeah. Spencer is a tough
it was a tough
competitor.
draw.
But this fella says Randall slamming a beer to open a cooking show makes it feel like it's a deer camp cook-off, and I love it.
I've got some too. This is from last the radio live from a couple weeks ago.
You guys
with the hundreds of beavers. Says came here just to comment on the movie club. Outstanding, all caps. Dr. Randall, you have set a new bar, and I look forward to the next one. Wow. Proud Randimal. We have Randall is a national treasure. Oh, that's from Nick. He works for us.
Oh, really? Oh, that's brutal.
Randall probably bought that dude a beer.
That's brutal.
What about this? I love all the roast shows. Oh, no. Yeah, I love all the roast shows, but I loved this one. Buddy, it's kind of the same thing. Anyways, Randall always adds extra to everything he does. Okay, here's another one. In quotes. Like I said, don't eat all of them. Is that a movie quote?
No, that's from when I told them not to eat the potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Because some of the potatoes weren't
Well,
done.
he says, I want another episode with Randall. Next one. Randall cracks me up. Like if you have 4 potatoes, pick the one that looks most done. What a good sport.
Great sport.
See?
Dr. Randall's the worst.
Stop it.
Jameson says,
We're moving on.
Jameson says, I would like to thank whatever mechanism at MeatEater, and maybe even just the universe, for giving Randall the reign, and more importantly, the confidence, I'm stressing that part editorially, to follow through with whatever meta concept that just had me laughing to tears in my truck.
Randall's previous comments about being depressed after losing trivia and coming home to his wife, all sad, is honestly concerning to hear. So before we go,
for all you Randall fans, he gave you a good one to end.
I do think we should.
All right.
I do think we should read some more comments like that. It's kind of fun.
Oh, I love it. It's hilarious.
As I was saying, starting next week, June 26th, we will be doing a monthly trail cam photo contest presented by our friends at Moultrie. We are asking you, our viewers, to send us your unique trail cam photos. This go around, we're looking for your funniest trail cam photos. Send them to radio@themeateater.com before our June 26th show. That's between today, June 19th, and next Thursday, June 26th. And we'll select 2 submissions to show during Radio Live, and the winner will win an awesome package from Moultrie. Again, funny pictures. Not serious pictures. Not sad pictures. Not scary pictures.
Yeah, we're going to have like a monthly theme.
Yeah, we're going to have themes. And this month's theme is funny.
Yep, so make it funny.
Yeah.
Not nasty either.
If you got a nasty one, save it. We'll have a
I'm
nasty
imagining
photo.
like a lot of pictures with animals with their tongues out of their mouths doing some weird tongue motion, perhaps. Maybe.
Yeah, or some weirdo just walking past the camera.
Yeah, see, I was just going to say, let's not have those. Do we really want those?
I kind of want
Some
those.
are tasteful. A lot of breeding images, maybe. Depends on how old you are, if it's
Back
funny
to
or
the
not.
animals, or are we talking about?
Well,
Ooh, hey. Well, send your funniest trail cam photos to radio@themeateater.com before our June 26th show. Funny photos presented by our friends at Moultrie. Get them in, and we'll choose a winner here. Happy summer, folks. The next time we see you all, the summer solstice will have passed, and we'll be one season away from the. That's beautiful.
Hey.
We'll be one season away from the fall. And we'll see you right back here next week on Thursday, June 26th, with our regularly scheduled MeatEater Radio Live programming. Folks, it's June 19th. We'll see you later.